My son sent me a box of handmade birthday chocolates. The next day he asked, "So, how were the chocolates?" I smiled and said, "I gave them to your wife and the kids, they love sweets." He went silent, then whispered, terrified, "Dad, you did what?" I'm 68 years old, spent 40 years making chocolate for a living. Not the garbage you find at gas stations, real chocolate. The kind people paid premium for at my boutique shop, back when I gave a damn about tempering curves and ganache ratios. Retired 5 years ago, sold the business, thought I'd earned some peace. My son Finn is 34. He's a luxury event planner, the kind who coordinates weddings for people with more money than sense. Corporate galas, charity auctions, that whole world. He's good at it, makes serious money. I'm proud of him, even if we don't talk as much as we used to. Every year since I retired, Finn sends me chocolates on my birthday. It started as a joke, him teasing me about finally getting to enjoy someone else's work. Then it became tradition. He'd ship me boxes from fancy chocolatiers in other cities, always with a note, always thoughtful. This year was different. Finn showed up at my door himself, Tuesday afternoon, 3 days before my actual birthday. He was holding a black box tied with gold ribbon, grinning like he'd just closed $1 million contract. "Got something special for you, Dad." I let him in. We sat at the kitchen table, same table where I used to teach him about chocolate when he was a kid. He'd been fascinated by it back then. Used to watch me work for hours. He slid the box across to me. "Handmade," he said. "Took me all weekend. Put extra love into these." I opened it. Dark chocolate truffles. 8 of them. They looked professional, smooth shells, dusted with cocoa powder. Different fillings, judging by the marks on top. "You made these?" He nodded, almost shy about it. "Learned from the best, right?" Figured it was time I returned the favor. I felt something catch in my chest. My son, making chocolate, carrying on the tradition in his own way. "They look perfect," I said. He stayed for coffee. We talked about his work, some gala he was planning for a tech company, drama with a Bridezilla client. He seemed good, happy, maybe a little distracted, checking his phone more than usual, but I figured that was just his job. Before he left, he emphasized it again. "Really hope you enjoy those, Dad. They're personal." I set the box on the counter after he left. Didn't think much more about it. That evening, Wendy and the kids stopped by. Wendy's my daughter-in-law, married to Finn for 13 years. She's a child psychologist, smart woman, patient, better than my son deserves, honestly, though I'd never say that out loud. Hugo and Iris, my grandkids, 12 and 8, both homeschooled, both scary smart. Hugo won a regional spelling bee last year. Iris placed 3rd in a national science competition. They're good kids. "Grandpa, what's in the box?" Iris asked, pointing at the counter. "Birthday chocolates from your dad. Want some?" Her eyes lit up. Hugo was already reaching for it. Wendy laughed. "You sure? Those look expensive." I waved her off. "I'm not much for sweets anymore. You 3 go ahead." They devoured them. All 8. Wendy had 2, Hugo had 3, Iris had 3. They raved about them, the flavors, the texture. "Dad's getting good at this," Hugo said. They left an hour later, Iris still talking about the salted caramel one. I went to bed thinking my son had done something genuinely sweet. The next afternoon, my phone rang. Finn's name on the screen. "Hey," I answered. "Got your chocolates yesterday. The kids loved them." Silence. Then his voice, tight and strange. "Dad, those chocolates I gave you, did you eat them?" "Nope, not really my thing anymore." "Why? Did you? Did anyone else eat them?" Something in his tone made my stomach drop. "Gave them to Wendy and the kids when they came by. They finished the whole box." More silence. Then a sound I'd never heard from my son before, something between a gasp and a sob. "Dad, you did what?" The air left my lungs. "Finn, what the hell did you do? How many did they eat?" His voice cracked, high-pitched, desperate. "All of them," I said slowly. 8 truffles. "Why? Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Finn, talk to me, right now." He was breathing hard. I could hear him pacing, footsteps echoing like he was in a stairwell or parking garage. "Which ones did Iris eat? Do you remember which ones?" "She's 8 years old. She ate chocolate. I don't know which. What is in those things?" "Dad, listen to me. You need to call Wendy right now. Ask her if anyone's feeling sick, dizzy, nauseous, anything." My hand was shaking. "Tell me what you did." "I can't. I need to know if they're okay first. Tell me." The silence stretched. Then, quietly, like a confession in a church, "They had THC in them." The kitchen tilted. "You gave me drug chocolates? They weren't for you." He was crying now. Actually crying. They were for someone else. Her birthday. She wanted something fun, something different. Just a little buzz. "I thought you'd just keep them on a shelf or something. You didn't think I'd give birthday chocolates to my own family?" "Dad, please, I need to know if they're okay." I hung up. Dialed Wendy. She answered on the first ring. Her voice was rough, strained. "Franklin? Hi. Sorry, not a great time. Are you okay?" The kids? I've been throwing up since 3 a.m. Some kind of stomach bug. Hugo says he feels weird but he's not. Wait, Iris. I heard rustling. Wendy's voice getting distant. Baby, what's wrong? Talk to mommy. Then screaming. High-pitched, terrified. A child scream. Iris? Iris. Something's wrong with her eyes. Franklin, I have to go. The line went dead. I stood there holding my phone. 68 years old and I wanted to put my fist through the wall. Finn called back immediately. I let it ring. He called again. And again. On the fourth call, I answered. Where are you? I asked. I'm driving to the hospital. Is she? You're not going anywhere near that hospital. She's my daughter. You poisoned her. It was an accident. Was it? Because from where I'm standing, you made drugs, put them in a box, and handed them off. You just didn't care who ate them. That's not, I thought. You thought you'd keep your little secret. Who were they for? Finn? Silence. Who were they for? A friend. Try again. Dad, it doesn't matter. It matters to me. He exhaled. Broken. Defeated. Her name's Rosalind. We've been seeing each other. It was her birthday. She mentioned wanting to try edibles and I thought, I used to watch you make chocolate. I thought I could do something special. I sat down before my legs gave out. You made drugs for your mistress using skills I taught you, then gave them to me, and now your wife and children are in the hospital. Don't. How long? What? How long have you been screwing around? 6 months. Maybe 7. I don't know. Dad, please, where's Wendy now? Emergency room. They just texted me. Iris was hallucinating. They ran tests, found THC in her system. His voice dropped to a whisper. They called CPS. My blood went cold. Child Protective Services? It's protocol when a kid comes in with drugs. They have to investigate. Wendy's freaking out. She thinks it was contamination from a candy store or something. She doesn't know it was me. She can't know it was me. You want me to lie? I want you to stay quiet. Please. If she finds out I made those for another woman. If CPS finds out. Dad, I'm begging you. This will destroy everything. I looked at the black box on my counter. Empty now. Gold ribbon still tied. You should have thought about that before you played chemist. Dad, I hung up. Walked over to the box. Picked it up. Started to throw it in the trash. Then stopped. Inside the lid, something white was tucked into the corner. I pulled it out. A card. Recipe card. The kind I used to use in my shop. In Finn's handwriting, neat and careful. Ours birthday batch. Double the ganache. She likes it rich. Dark chocolate shells. Raspberry and salted caramel centers. THC oil. 10 milligrams per piece. And at the bottom, in a different pen, like he'd added it later. For Rosalind, with all my sweetness. I stood there staring at it. At my son's handwriting. At another woman's name. At the proof. I set the card down carefully. Photographed it with my phone. Then I put it in a Ziploc bag like evidence at a crime scene. Because that's what it was. Evidence. My son had poisoned his own family because he was too goddamn stupid to label a box meant for his mistress. And now Wendy, good, devoted Wendy who'd never done anything but love him and raise his kids, was facing a CPS investigation while Finn protected himself and his affair. I wasn't impulsive. 40 years running a business teaches you patience. Precision. You don't rush a tempering process. You don't skip steps. I wasn't skipping steps now. First, I called the hospital. They wouldn't tell me much, privacy laws, but a nurse I'd known for years happened to answer. Iris was stable. They were keeping her overnight for observation. Wendy hadn't left her side. Then I went to work. Finn had always been careful about his social media. His main Instagram was professional, event photos, client testimonials, that polished corporate garbage. But I remembered something Wendy had mentioned months ago. She'd found a second account. Finn claimed it was for personal photography. She'd believed him. I found it in 20 minutes. Private account. Username was something generic, at @F_creative. His profile picture was a blurry sunset. 53 followers. I scrolled through his following list. Most were random accounts. Then I found her. Rosalind Harcourt. Gallery curator. Her profile was public. My stomach turned as I scrolled. There were photos going back months. Her at wine bars, art galleries, hotel lobbies with city views. And in some of them, barely visible in reflections or background shots, there was Finn. One photo from 6 weeks ago, her hand holding a wine glass. In the background, blurred but recognizable, Finn's watch. The one Wendy had bought him for their 10th anniversary. Another from 2 months back, a restaurant table, 2 plates. The caption read best date nights are the unexpected ones. Comments from friends. Someone asking who's the lucky guy? She'd responded with a winky face emoji. I screenshot everything. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I went into Finn's old bedroom. He'd lived with me for a year after college, before he married Wendy. When he moved out, he'd left boxes of stuff. I'll get them eventually, he'd said. Eventually never came. I found the boxes in the back of the closet. Opened the first one. Old textbooks, photo albums, nothing useful. The second box had a folder. Black leather portfolio. The kind people use for important documents. Inside were printed recipes. My recipes. The ones I'd used in my shop, that I'd taught him when he was young. But these had notes, modifications, dates. Rosalind's favorites was written across the top of one page. There were at least 20 recipes, all dated within the past 6 months. Notes in margins. She loved the orange zest in this one. Make this again for her next visit. Too bitter, add more sugar next time. At the bottom of the stack was a printed email. From Finn to someone named R. Harcourt at gallerymodernist.com. The subject line, can't stop thinking about last weekend. I sat on the floor of his old room, surrounded by evidence of my son's double life. He hadn't just been having an affair. He'd been using my craft, the thing I'd built, the tradition I'd shared with him, to seduce another woman. My phone rang. Wendy, I answered. Franklin. Her voice was destroyed. Hoarse from crying or vomiting or both. They're running more tests on Iris. She's asking for her dad but he's not answering his phone. Have you talked to him? Not recently. I lied. How is she? Terrified. She keeps saying the walls are moving. They said it's THC toxicity but she's 8 years old. Franklin. Where would she even? She broke off, crying. CPS is coming tomorrow to interview us. Both of us. They want to know how this happened. My supervisor at work found out. I might be suspended pending investigation. Wendy, my entire career is about protecting children. And now they think I drugged my own daughter. I closed my eyes. Hugo won't talk to anyone, she continued. He just sits in his room. And Finn, I've called him 15 times. Where is he? I don't know. This is destroying us. Whatever happened with those chocolates, wherever they came from, Franklin, this is destroying my family. I looked down at the folder in my lap, at the recipe card in the plastic bag, at the screenshots on my phone. Wendy, I need to go, but I want you to check your email in about 10 minutes. What? Why? Just check it. And Wendy, you're not the one who destroyed your family. I hung up before she could ask more questions, sat at my kitchen table, opened my laptop, created a new email. In the to field, Wendy's address. In the subject line, I typed, the truth about your husband. My cursor blinked in the empty message box. I attached the recipe card photo, the Instagram screenshots, pictures of the folder contents. Then I started typing. Wendy, the chocolates Finn gave me were not meant for us. They were made for a woman named Rosalind Harcourt. He's been having an affair with her for at least 6 months. The attached recipe card is in his handwriting. He made those chocolates specifically for her birthday. He intentionally laced them with THC oil because she asked for something fun. He gave them to me knowing I might pass them along. When I told him you and the kids ate them, he panicked. Not because your daughter was in danger, because he might get caught. He asked me to stay quiet, to let you take the blame, to let CPS investigate you while he protected himself and his mistress. I'm sorry you're learning this way. I'm sorry that my son became the kind of man who would let this happen. The evidence is attached. Do with it what you need to. Franklin. I hit send before I could second guess myself. Then I opened a new browser tab and searched Prestige Affairs Ethics Policy. Finn worked for one of the most exclusive event planning firms in the region. Their client list included Fortune 500 companies, celebrities, political fundraisers. Their website had an entire page dedicated to their commitment to ethical excellence and legal compliance. There was a contact form for reporting ethics violations. I filled it out. To whom it may concern, I'm writing to report that one of your event planners, Finn Gallagher, has been manufacturing illegal THC edibles. On November 19th, he distributed these products, which resulted in the hospitalization of an 8-year-old child and a subsequent CPS investigation. Attached is documentation including the recipe with dosage information, evidence of production, and hospital records showing THC toxicity in a minor. Given the liability risks your company faces with high-profile clients and controlled substance laws, I felt obligated to bring this to your attention. I attached everything. The recipe card, the emails, even the hospital notification Wendy had forwarded me earlier. Hit submit, closed my laptop, poured myself a whiskey. It was nearly 10 p.m. when headlights flooded my driveway. Car door slammed, footsteps running. Finn didn't knock. He had a key from years ago. The door flew open and he stood there in my kitchen, wild-eyed, breathing hard. What did you do? I took a sip of my drink. I told the truth. Wendy won't answer my calls. She changed the locks. She's not letting me see my kids. Can you blame her? My boss just called. I'm on immediate administrative leave pending investigation. They're talking about termination. Dad, do you have any idea what you've done? I stood up slowly, looked my son in the eye. I know exactly what I did. What I want to know is what you were planning to do. Let Wendy lose her career? Let CPS take your kids? All so you could keep playing house with your gallery girl? His face crumpled. I love her. You love the idea of her. The secret. The excitement. That's not love, Finn. That's just being selfish. You don't understand. I understand that your daughter was hallucinating in a hospital bed while you were worried about getting caught. I understand that your wife, who never did a damn thing wrong, was about to be investigated for child abuse while you stayed quiet. I was going to tell the truth eventually. When? After Wendy was fired? After CPS took Hugo and Iris away? He sank into a chair, head in his hands. I was unhappy. For years, Wendy and I, we grew apart. Rosalind made me feel alive again. So you get a divorce. You split custody. You don't poison your family and hide behind your father. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. It happened exactly like this because you were careless. With your family. With your choices. With other people's lives. He looked up at me, tears streaming. Please, call Wendy. Tell her it was a mistake. Tell them at my work that you were confused. No, I'm your son. And they're your children. Your wife. You chose to protect yourself instead of them. I'm choosing them. He stood abruptly, knocking the chair backward. You self-righteous bastard. You think you're so perfect? You abandoned mom's memory the second she died. Get out. You've been alone for 20 years because nobody can live up to your standards. Get out. He stared at me, then turned and walked to the door. Stopped with his hand on the frame. I'll never forgive you for this. I'll live with that. He left. The door didn't slam this time. Just clicked shut quietly. I sat back down, finished my whiskey, felt older than I ever had. My phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. Text message. I know what you did. You're going to regret this. I stared at it for a long moment. Then I smiled. I didn't respond to Rosalind's text. Didn't block the number either. Just set my phone down and went to bed. Some threats aren't worth acknowledging. The next morning, Wendy called at 7 a.m. I filed for divorce. The emergency hearing is scheduled for next week. I'm asking for full custody. Her voice was different. Not broken anymore. Sharp. Focused. Good, I said. My lawyer is using the CPS report, the hospital records, everything you sent me. She says this is one of the clearest cases of parental negligence she's seen. Finn recklessly endangered our children. There's documentation. What does CPS? They interviewed me yesterday. Once I showed them the evidence, that Finn made the chocolates, that I had no knowledge, they shifted the entire investigation to him. My caseworker actually apologized, said this should be closed within a week. I felt something release in my chest. And your job? Supervisor called this morning. I'm back on Monday. They were waiting for CPS to clear me. She paused. Franklin, I can't thank you enough. You don't need to thank me. You just need to protect those kids. I will. I promise you, I will. She hung up. I made coffee and checked my email. There was a message from Prestige Affairs. Not to me directly, it had been forwarded by someone I knew in the industry. Internal memo. Effective immediately, Finn Gallagher's employment has been terminated. All clients should be reassigned by end of business Friday. Any inquiries regarding Mr. Gallagher should be directed to legal. That was fast. Then again, companies like that don't mess around with liability. One whiff of illegal substances, especially involving a child, they'd torch their own office before risking association. I called my contact, woman named Beverly who'd done floral arrangements for my shop years ago, now worked in luxury events. Franklin, I was just about to call you. What are you hearing? Your son is radioactive. Prestige fired him within 24 hours of getting that report. Word's already spreading. You know how this industry is. Everyone knows everyone. Finn Gallagher made drugs that put a kid in the hospital? Nobody's touching him. He's done. His reputation? Gone. There's 3 other major firms in the region. I've already heard from 2 of them. They've blacklisted him. He won't work in luxury events again, Franklin. Not here. Probably not anywhere. I thanked her and hung up. Over the next week, I watched it all unfold like dominoes falling. Wendy's lawyer froze their joint assets. Turned out Finn had been using their shared accounts to fund the affair, hotel rooms, dinners, gifts for Rosalind. Wendy's forensic accountant found it all. $15,000 over 6 months. The divorce hearing was brutal. Wendy got the house, the savings, the kids' college funds, full physical custody, with Finn allowed supervised visitation once weekly. Finn moved into a studio apartment across town. I heard about it from Hugo, who'd finally started talking again. He'd called me one night, voice small. Grandpa, Dad's living in a place with no yard. Just 1 room. He cried when we visited. How do you feel about that? Long silence. Then, I don't know. Is it bad that I'm still mad at him? No, kiddo, it's not bad at all. The social consequences were worse than the legal ones. Wendy's family was old money, connected, respected. They didn't make public scenes. They just made sure the right people knew the right things. At charity events, country clubs, school fundraisers. Did you hear about the Gallagher situation? Drugged his own children. For his mistress. Can you imagine? I heard it third hand from Wendy's mother, who called to thank me. You saved my daughter's life, Franklin, and my grandchildren. Even Rosalind disappeared. I kept tabs through her public Instagram. 3 weeks after everything imploded, she posted a photo with a new man. Different watch, different smile, engagement ring by month 3. She'd moved on before Finn's apartment lease was even signed. CPS officially closed the investigation on December 1st. Wendy was cleared entirely. The report noted Finn as the sole negligent party. It would follow him forever, any custody hearing, any background check. I should have felt vindicated. I mostly felt tired. Then, 2 weeks into December, my phone rang at midnight. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Heavy breathing on the other end. Then a whisper, raw and broken. "You ruined me." I recognized the voice immediately. Finn. I let the silence stretch. Listened to him breathe. "Say something," he whispered. "I'm listening." "I lost everything. My job, my family, my reputation. I can't get work. I can't see my kids without a social worker in the room. Rosalind won't even return my calls." His voice cracked. "You did this. You could have stayed out of it. You didn't have to destroy me." I stood up from my bed, walked to the kitchen, turned on the light. "You think I destroyed you? You sent that email. You reported me to my company. You gave Wendy ammunition. I gave Wendy the truth. The truth you were hiding while she faced a CPS investigation. While Iris was traumatized. While Hugo stopped talking. You want to blame someone for your destroyed life, Finn? Buy a mirror. I made a mistake. You made a choice. You made drugs for your mistress. You handed them off without a label, without a warning, without a single thought about who might eat them. Then, when your daughter was hallucinating in a hospital bed, you begged me to lie, to let Wendy take the fall, to let CPS ruin her career. I panicked. You chose yourself, over your wife, over your kids, over basic human decency. Silence. Then, quieter. I thought you'd understand. You of all people. You've made mistakes too. I've made plenty, but I own them. I didn't ask someone else to carry the weight while I walked away clean. What do you want from me? His voice was breaking apart. You want me to grovel? Beg? I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for all of it. Does that fix anything? Sorry doesn't fix Iris's nightmares. Sorry doesn't give Hugo his trust back. Sorry doesn't undo Wendy's humiliation. Then what? You want me to suffer forever? I sat down at my kitchen table. The same table where Finn had handed me that black box. Where this whole thing started. I want you to understand what you did. Not to me, to them. And until you do, until you stop playing victim and start taking responsibility, you and I have nothing to say to each other. You're my father, and they're your children, your wife. You chose to protect yourself instead of them. Now you're facing consequences. That's not ruin, Finn. That's accountability. He was crying now, full sobs. I don't know how to come back from this. Maybe you don't. Maybe you earn your way back inch by inch over years. Maybe your kids forgive you eventually. Maybe they don't. But you don't get to call me at midnight and blame me for choices you made. I just wanted. He trailed off. I don't know what I wanted. You wanted the excitement without the cost. The affair without the consequences. You wanted everything. And you didn't care who paid the price. The line went quiet except for his breathing. Are we done? I asked. Yeah, he whispered. We're done. He hung up. I sat there for a while. Then I went back to bed. 3 days later, I visited Wendy and the kids. They'd repainted the living room. Sage green. Wendy's choice. It looked good. Fresh. Iris ran up and hugged me. She seemed lighter. Still shy about some things, but laughing again. Hugo showed me his latest science project. He'd built a working model of a pulley system. Think I could win regionals with this, Grandpa? I think you could win nationals. Wendy made coffee. We sat in the kitchen while the kids played outside. How are you holding up? I asked. Better. Some days are hard. But we're okay. We're going to be okay. And Finn? He's in therapy. Court mandated. Sees the kids on Saturdays with supervision. Hugo's still angry. Iris asks when Daddy's coming home. She set down her mug. I tell her the truth. That sometimes people make choices that change everything. And that's not her fault. That's good. That's right. She looked at me. Thank you, Franklin, for not letting him bury this. For choosing us. Wasn't a choice. It was just the right thing to do. That evening, I went down to my workshop in the basement. I hadn't been down there in months. Dust covered the old chocolate molds, the marble slab, the tools I'd used for 40 years. I wiped them down, organized them, set everything back in order. Hugo and Iris had asked if I could teach them sometime. The real way, Hugo had said. Not Dad's way. I'd said yes, because chocolate making, real chocolate making, isn't about the recipe. It's about care, precision, integrity, understanding that what you create has power, and you're responsible for how you use it. Finn learned the skill. He never learned the lesson. My phone buzzed. Text from Wendy. A photo of Hugo and Iris holding a card. Thank you, Grandpa. I smiled. Somewhere across town, in a studio apartment, my son was probably sitting alone. Probably still thinking I'd ruined him. But I knew the truth. He'd made the chocolates. He'd laced them with drugs. He'd handed them off without care or warning. He'd begged for silence while others suffered. I just made sure the truth came out. No, son, you ruined yourself. I just served the dessert. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a